Photosynthesis, Earth's silent energy miracle.
Have you ever wondered how a giant tree gets its food? It doesn't have a mouth and it can't walk to a grocery store. Yet it grows bigger and bigger every single year. The answer is a truly amazing process, a kind of solar-powered magic trick that happens all around us. Plants are not just sitting there looking pretty. They are hard at work, making their own food. They are nature's very own chefs, and their secret ingredient is sunlight. This incredible food-making process is how plants turn light into life, happening right now in your backyard, in the park, and in that little houseplant on your windowsill. This amazing process has a big name: photosynthesis. Just like when you bake a cake, you need a list of ingredients. For a plant to perform the magic of photosynthesis, it needs its own special recipe. The ingredients are surprisingly simple and are all around us. The first and most important ingredient is sunlight. Sunlight is a form of energy made of tiny particles called photons. Plants capture this energy to power their food-making kitchen. Without the sun's energy, the process can't get started, like cooking on a stove that isn't turned on. The second ingredient is water. Plants soak up water through roots, then send it up tiny pipes to the leaves. Water is hydrogen plus oxygen. The plant splits it to get hydrogen for building food. The third ingredient is carbon dioxide, a gas we exhale, which plants take in through tiny pores called stomata. Recap: sunlight for energy, water for hydrogen, and carbon dioxide for carbon. Simple materials gathered from sky, ground, and air. Now that we know the ingredients, let's find out where the cooking happens. The main kitchen for photosynthesis is the leaf. Most leaves are flat and wide, like a giant solar panel to capture sunlight all day. Those veins are the plumbing, bringing water up and sending finished sugars to stems, roots, and flowers. The leaf is a perfectly designed, self-contained factory. Zoom in, and you see thousands of tiny rooms called cells. Inside those, even smaller structures work the real magic. These are chloroplasts, dozens per cell, miniature factories. Think of each as a tiny kitchen where photosynthesis takes place. Their special pigment, chlorophyll, gives plants their green color and absorbs sunlight. It excels at absorbing red and blue light, reflecting green, so leaves look green. The chain: leaf, thousands of cells, dozens of chloroplasts, chlorophyll, organized and efficient. That vibrant green you see is the machinery of photosynthesis, ready for the sun. Photosynthesis doesn't happen all at once. Scientists break it into two stages. First, capture the sun's energy, the light-dependent reactions. Sunlight strikes chlorophyll in chloroplasts, exciting the molecules. That energy splits water into hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen exits through tiny stomata pores, the oxygen we breathe. The plant holds onto hydrogen and stores energy in tiny battery-like molecules, ATP and NADPH. Think of them as charged-up energy packets. Charging releases life-giving oxygen. Every underwater bubble is a tiny puff of O2. Summary: sunlight hits chlorophyll, water is split, oxygen is released, and energy is stored in ATP and NADPH. Those charged molecules are ready for stage 2. The plant has turned light into chemical power. The kitchen is powered up and ready to start cooking. The second big step: cooking up sugar. With ATP and NADPH from stage 1, the plant is ready to make food. This is the Calvin cycle, also called the light-independent reactions. It doesn't directly need sunlight. It uses stored energy, day or night, as long as the batteries are charged. The Calvin cycle takes carbon dioxide from the air and turns it into sugar. ATP and NADPH power a chain of reactions, linking carbon atoms from CO2 into a 3-carbon sugar. Imagine a factory. CO2 goes in, energy drives the line, and enzymes, including Rubisco, assemble parts. The product is a simple sugar: glucose, powerful energy for the plant. Plants use glucose to grow leaves, stems, and roots, the fuel for life activities. extra sugar is stored as starch. When you eat a potato or rice, you're eating plant starch made from this process. After building sugar, ATP and NADPH become ADP and NADP+, returning to be recharged. A continuous, efficient loop. After all that work, what are the final products of photosynthesis? Two main products, sugar and oxygen. Sugar, primarily glucose, is the plant's food, packed with energy to live and grow. It powers shoots to break ground and beautiful flowers to emerge. At night, plants can't photosynthesize, so they convert glucose into starch, like packing tomorrow's lunch. Plants store starch in roots and seeds, carrots, potatoes, corn, wheat, feeding animals, and us. The other product is oxygen, released through stomata after water is split. Waste for plants, essential for life. We breathe oxygen to power our cells. Animals, fish, insects, all depend on it. Cellular respiration is almost the reverse. We use oxygen to break down sugar and release energy. Plants give us food and oxygen. Every apple, vegetable, and slice of bread is sunlight captured by plants, the ultimate gift. It's easy to take plants for granted, but their role is absolutely critical. Photosynthesis underpins nearly every food chain. Herbivores eat plant sugars and starches. Carnivores get energy by eating herbivores. Trace it all back to plants capturing sunlight. Photosynthesis also gives us breathable air. Billions of years ago, tiny photosynthetic organisms pumped oxygen into the atmosphere, enabling complex life. Now forests, grasslands, and ocean phytoplankton continue this vital work. The green lungs of the planet. By absorbing carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, photosynthesis helps regulate Earth's climate. Forests and oceans store vast quantities of carbon as giant carbon sinks. It creates our food, produces our oxygen, and stabilizes climate, the engine of ecosystems. Without it, air would be unbreathable, food chains would collapse, and climate would spiral. Every green leaf matters. Reading about photosynthesis is one thing, but seeing it in action is even more exciting. You can do a simple experiment at home to prove plants produce a gas in sunlight. All you need, a clear glass or jar, some water, and a fresh green leaf. Submerge the leaf completely. If it floats, gently weigh it down with a small stone. Put the jar in direct sunlight, the key ingredient. After 30-60 minutes, look closely. Tiny silvery bubbles will form on the leaf. Those bubbles are oxygen, the waste product of the light-dependent reactions. Set up a second jar in the dark. Compare later. Bubbles in sun, few or none in dark. This simple demo shows plants use light to create the very air we breathe. Science is cool, you know? Let's zoom out and recap this incredible process. Photosynthesis is nature's brilliant recipe, turning sunlight into life. Plants, algae, and even some bacteria do it. Inside leaves, tiny chloroplasts use chlorophyll to grab sunlight. They take in water from the ground and carbon dioxide from the air, powered by the sun. Act 1. Light reactions, split water, release oxygen, and charge molecular batteries. Act 2. The Calvin cycle builds sugar. This self-sustaining cycle powers plants and the planet, giving us food, oxygen, and climate balance. From a blade of grass to the Amazon, each leaf is a quiet solar factory turning light, water, and air into food and oxygen, the everyday magic that makes our world alive.